we just step in their necks, constantly abuse them.
Yeah. It's entertainment. Harlem World. I'm the legend from the Hudson. Hey ma, how you? I am that dude. You are so cute. Oh, it's lit. We knew. Talk to me. Hey ma, how you? I am that dude. You are so cute. Oh, it's lit. We knew. Talk to me. Pulled up to the club, I'm talking to La Marina. My cousin Chucky Black is wavy, he in the Beamer. Mommy looking good, she see me, she with the peoples. And this is how entertainment, we moving like we the Beatles. I'm from Harlem, my ego is very lethal. This lady looked amazed, I'm talking to her people. Speaking all the schism like a pimp to a Mac. I'm too successful to lie, I'm speaking nothing but facts. Your booty is fat, but tell me did you guzzle? Can't f with stupid if your grind is on the struggle. Yeah, I know you love a fly that takes a stand. And I don't rustle for likes, it's word to Instagram. I'm in the tropics, beaches of Martinique. I really get to a bag, I practice on what I preach. Life is really a beach, I'ma have it my way. I own the sand and the beach, cause I'm really that way. Hey ma, how you? I am that dude. You are so cute. Oh, it's lit. We knew. Talk to me. Hey ma, how you? I am that dude. You are so cute. Oh, it's lit. We knew. Talk to me.
Scared to death Negroes are my enemy.
Peace, 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 peace. Peace, everybody. Salute to all of y'all, man, that's checking in with us here. We are going to have the conversation today, ladies and gentlemen. Couple things we need to touch off here. Shout out to Arnold. Shout out to Arnold coming at him the way he needs to come at him. You are a guest, immigrant. Legal or illegal, you are a guest. And you should behave as such. in these United States of America. Never forget that. And bombs over Iran. I gotta ask y'all, man, is that justified? Because, listen, lot of motivated reasons why they're going out there handling that. And I believe it has very little to do with the preservation of American citizens as much as it has to do with the shadow dictator, emerging dictator in Netanyahu. Yeah, that's me. I'm keeping it a buck like that. But we're going to be live in a little less than 5 minutes, y'all. Salute to everybody that's checked in. Make sure you're sharing this thing out, family. Salute to everybody that is checked in with your boy.
Scared to death Negroes are my enemy.
Stack you hard, fool. Stack you hard, fool.
Let's go. Ladies, you already know what it is. Let's go. Blue shorts out.
If you rap NJ, put your hands up. Drop low, back it up. Wait, slide in, then you dip. All my ladies, put your hands to your hip. Where we from? Jersey. Get them up if you heard me. Back it up, no salt, you don't want that. Got the side on deck with a blood rush. Tell a bartender, fill my cup. Joker said no luck, she is in my truck. Pull them shorts high, do you feel high? Wanna see you shake and bounce. When I step in and they see me, my name is who they announce. This a kick up, better pick up. If you with us, better pick up.
Where we from, Jersey? Where we from, slide. Where we from, Jersey? Where we from, get up. Where we from, Jersey? Where we from, Jersey? Where we from, Jersey? Where we from, Jersey?
Jersey bread, y'all niggas nose bled. I had the shit on lock when y'all niggas was spoon fed. I worked this shit. You stole the shit.
Scared to death Negroes are my enemy.
Let's get ready to get into this thing, family. Salute to everybody that's coming in here. I see y'all bright and early. Salute to everybody. We are here to have a conversation, and we're going to open it up today, man. It's good to see our all the brothers and sisters tapping in, checking in this morning for the cook-up breakfast brunch edition for y'all, family. Let's go ahead and get right into this thing, and let's have that conversation, family. Salute to everybody that's checked in with us. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, salute to everybody that is checked in with us. We are here to have a conversation today. Little Pattalk action on this Sunday brunch edition, if you will, ladies and gentlemen. But if you're here for the first time and you're not here for a long time, this program is brought to you by Bloodline Films in collaboration with LWFtraining.com. My brother Juan J. Johnson believes that there is a lone wolf in all of you, ladies and gentlemen. So definitely subscribe to his channel and go check his website out, lwftraining.com, for all your firearms needs, ladies and gentlemen. We are here to have a conversation today. I want you to know, family, that it ain't been looking too good out here, man. We've had bombs dropping. We've had, surprisingly, a former politician, last action hero actor, coming out scolding some immigrants, trying to get some act right, some understanding. But if you're here for the first time, I am your host, Chef C from New Jersey, okay? Host of On Their Next podcast, but we bring to you today Pattalk, ladies and gentlemen. Pattalk, I got the brothers in here, coming in here today. I will be dropping the link as well. Gotta hear from y'all. Brother ABM, if you're out there, family, definitely check in ABM, okay? Definitely check in. Everybody else, you're free to check in as well to have the conversation, ladies and gentlemen. And we will be kicking it off with Arnold in particular as far as the immigrant entitlement here in the United States. Let me bring my brother Q up. Let me see who's in the building, ladies and gentlemen, before we get too far. If you're in the building, sound off in that community kitchen chat. Let me get Lil Chef in here.
Peace, 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 peace. Okay? Peace, peace, peace. I see we got Brother Chris in here. Brother Chris, you was in here bright and early, fam. Salute to Brother Chris for checking in. Yes, indeed. Peace, Brother Chris. Peace, peace. Let's see who else is in here. My brother Third to God. Peace, Brother Third. Checking in on a Sunday. Peace, peace. Let me see who else is in here. Let me see. We got Sister Earth. Sister Earth. What's happening with your Sister Earth? In the building. Peace, peace, peace. Let me see who else is in here. Yes, indeed. We got the God, my brother ABM. The brother is in the building. ABM. Salute. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Let me see who else is in here. We got Sister Vina in the building. Sister Vina, what's happening with you? Huh? Who else is in here? Let me see who else is in here coming through. Let me see. Okay. Oh, we got Brother Rodney in the building. Brother Rodney, what's happening with you, sir? Top of the morning to you. Peace, peace, peace. Yes, indeed. All right. And of course, we got my brother Q from Let's Talk 2 in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Our brother Q from Let's Talk 2. Give him them sounds, baby.
Okay, I see what it is this morning. We got a little chef, a little bit of energy today. Family, we are here to have a conversation. Let's really get into this thing, okay? Let's get into this thing the way y'all like it, the way y'all like the seasoning. Let's go ahead and do this thing the way we do it, all right? Now, first, Brother Q, man. What it look like, man, for you this morning, man? How's everything been shaking over the weekend for you, sir?
Oh, great morning. Weekend was very interesting. Very interesting. And then last night when the president decided to bomb the 3 nuclear sites, I actually was on the phone with the illustrious Dr. Short for about 5 hours, believe it or not. And we chatted. So he may still be a little tired or he may join us. But interesting perspectives. I've seen a lot of different thoughts on that issue. And I know that our appetizer is definitely to talk about the Terminator and what he said. So I'm good this morning. I'm glad everybody could join us for this early brunch and be a part of the cook-up. Remember, like, share, subscribe. And remember that support what we do. You know, I know it appears to be easy, what we do, and we're just talking. And we want to be of those people who are talking with you and not at you. Right. So I appreciate everybody in the chat for joining us this morning. and sharing their thoughts and opinions with us.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what, man. I got a niggertizer before I get to a real appetizer for folks.
Really, it's been a while.
Yeah. I haven't had no niggertizers for a while. But you know what? I'm gonna drop, and I'm gonna drop the link for folks very soon. But I want to show, ladies and gentlemen, y'all been seeing. Is it me or these wild animals been putting foot to ass on these white folks? Listen, let me bring up something, y'all. Let me bring some shit up here. I've been seeing, shout out to my brother Third. You in there, Third? I've been watching, yo, listen, Felly. I've been watching these animals put in work. You understand me? These animals is not playing with you white folks, man. Y'all better stop. The white folks is always going up smiling at an animal face, thinking that animal isn't wild. It's called a wild animal for a reason. So peep this one right here. This damn bison, right? They got both of the little kids hanging out. They got the little kids hanging out the car window. And the bison is like, listen, man, I'm just out here trying to mind my motherfucking business, okay? I'm just trying to chill out here, and you out here making sounds, smiling at me, doing all type of shit. Why are you messing with me this morning? So the bison comes through and gives him one just to let him know, listen, I don't be wanting to be bothered like you think I do, goddammit. Let me just remind you. Check this out, y'all. Bink. Oh, y'all heard the sound a little baby made? I mean, a little kid made? Let me play that back. That bison slow walked up on him. Slow walked. Now, oh, chef, you messed up for doing. Listen, fuck that. This is something that Black America needs to get an understanding of, okay? When folks come into our territory, into our environment, you got to let them know that you are a visitor, okay? You're a visitor. And sometimes it's only one way to get that communicated. Shout out to this bison. Watch this bison slow walk. Oh, you think shit's sweet? Watch the bison. You think shit is sweet? Let me tell you something. Let me holler at you. Let me... bopped him back into the car. Oh, shit. Cleaned him up, and y'all heard the little man. Yeah, that's the type of time I'm on this morning, y'all. That's what we got to do, Black America, because, again, you are the originators here, okay? You are the people that folks need to put some respect on, okay? You are the original inhabitants of this land, and you're letting folks come through and try to regulate your shit. And sometimes you just got to communicate one particular way. Hold on, Brother Q, I got one of the situation I want to bring up here. Just get everybody woke up a little bit. I know some folks probably might be hungover.
Run that back. I want to see that again, just one more time.
Yeah. You know what it was? You know what made it so respectful for me? Yeah, I'm saying respectful. How the bison said, okay, you want to treat me like I'm a fish in a motherfucking in a fish tank. You want to wave at me and look at me. Okay, let me walk up on you. Get you some understanding. Yeah, slow walk.
It's amazing.
Brother Q, you got the floor, sir.
It's amazing. It's amazing when you watch this type of shit. Right? And you ever been around any animal? You could have been around a cat, a dog. You might see a deer. You might have been on a farm. You might have seen cows. You might have seen a bull.
Right.
Even a bull. Some bulls are castrated and they just have the bulls around to be in the same area with the women, the cows.
Right.
So if you ever been around farms, you'd know. But when you see a bison, now bisons are particularly more, you're gonna see it towards out west, the Midwest area.
Right.
But when you see a bison, even if you see a buck, let's just say a buck for people that live in the East Coast. When you see a buck, you automatically know that's not no regular deer. That buck, you know, is hard, and if it hits you or hits your vehicle, it's gonna cause damage.
He's cleaning that shit up. You total 9 times out of 10. Yeah.
Self-awareness to be like, yo, if this joker headbutt something, it's over. And then you got your kid hanging out the side. Like,
right. Set him up. Set the little kid up.
People out of control, man. What do you thought he was gonna just be able to pet the bison, and the bison ain't gonna think he's a danger?
Right.
He gonna butt you. He's gonna use what he has to protect himself.
Look. Check this out. Listen. And you was talking about them deers, brother Q. And this one right here, another person who got to learn the lesson early out here in these streets. Speaking of the deer, a buck. Buck pulls up on the lady, said, listen, you kind of stole my land. And I want Black America to get the connection that I'm making here. You stole my land and built your little house on it. Now you got these lounging chairs and shit. Like, shit is sweet. I've been here already. You understand? I've been here already. You a visitor. But you know what? You forgot this. So let me remind you, visitor, what it looked like real quick. So I'm gonna slow walk you too. Shout out to this deer.
We're done here.
Shout out to my brother Third for this clip.
Getting this?
Yes.
I got nothing else, right? Oh, God. Hi, you're so pretty. You're so handsome. You're so brave.
Yeah. Look.
Yeah, how am I reading that? How am I reading that?
Now I want to communicate something here.
Something that ain't right.
Now I want to communicate something real quick. See how the deer is just basically sniffing and taking whatever he want, because it's like, listen, this is actually my shit. You're a visitor here, Black America. We could learn from these animals as a collective of people. All right, get back to the root of things. All right, shout out to this deer. Deer said, you know what, I'm gonna pull up on you. I'm gonna take a little bit of something here and there, but then I'm gonna also leave you something to remember me by. Let's go ahead and play this.
This is.
Oh, Chelsea. Chelsea, help me. Chelsea! Ow! Ow!
All right, walk over.
Get your ass out of here.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
Come on,
deer.
go.
Yeah, get her.
I don't know why they thought. She thought that he wasn't going to do that. He smelled something that wasn't right. And he said, oh, it's not right. And help me. You should have been left. What do you think he got them points for?
Right.
Them points is his weapon, his protection.
Right.
And usually, you might see somebody, might go try to go get something and feed the buck. I've seen it many occasions, but he literally was telling you, I don't smell, something ain't right.
It's something, it ain't woofing the way I need it to be.
Yeah.
Something.
And you sitting there thinking you're gonna take pictures and do all this stuff, and he's a pet. You can't domesticate a deer.
Check this out. Check this out. All my sisters in here, or my brothers that are in decent shape for the most part. Check this. What do a lot of these white folks do to the sisters? They come up and they try to touch your hair. Even the white dudes, they try to touch your hair. Oh, you're so, look at you. You exotic. Brothers that's in good shape, looking half decent. Oh, them chicks, they start grabbing on you. Don't even ask permission. They just do it. So look at the deer. It's something we can learn from the deer, family. Huh? Just take your shit back. Shout out to the 50 plus in the building already. Okay? But look at the deer. So she's looking at this deer. He's disarming her, getting her guard down. Y'all, you're so cute. Look at you. You're so cute. He said, yeah, bitch, you think you're sweet. I'm about to line you up. He was just lining her up. Look.
Hi, you're so pretty.
Look, he lined her up.
Handsome.
Look. She think he's exotic. He's cute. He looking at her sniffing. I'm about to, all right, let me see where the pudgy part at so I can stick you. Let's peep this. Shout out to this deer.
You're so brave. You can't have my ring. That can't have my ring. You can't eat my ring.
Yeah, I take what I want. Shout out to that deer. Something off about you. Something
Chelsea,
off about
help
you.
me. Chelsea, ow.
Yeah.
Ow.
Get her.
I'm not trying to hurt.
Get her. That's what I like from them deers, man. Salute to that damn deer out here, family. You gotta put some respect on the deer. You understand? He said, yes, sir. I'm going to play you close and smooth. And I'm going to line you up, size you up, and then I'm going to stick you. Black America, can we get there? Can we get back there? I'm going to drop the link, man, if somebody needs some commentary on this deer clip. Just so we understand, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, because I want to make it plain. Right? We talking about immigrants with their entitlement for the first part of this particular program, because we about to lead right into that. Entitled immigrants getting regulated by another immigrant who went through the process. Getting regulated by another immigrant who went through the process, got his paperwork. Understand that he even now, having been here more than a few decades, understands that he is still a guest in our land, ladies and gentlemen. He's still a guest here, okay? That's what I need us as a collective of people to get back to. Can we get there? Regulating. We shouldn't need Arnold Schwarzenegger to put foot to ass down on some of this shit. Let me go ahead and show you something about some of this entitlement, y'all. Let me show you some of this entitlement here coming from these immigrants. You understand me? Let me pull something up for everybody. Let's pull this up. Peep this, y'all. Another immigrant right here. And hear them niggas in the crowd. I hit this.
To my fellow black folks, we don't care. We don't care if you don't think this is a fight. We don't care if you think you was right all along. We don't care about nothing. If you got nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. Simple as that. Stop trying to act like middle school trying to prove a point so bad. Stop trying to get on here and trying to convince other people that this is not their fight just because you feel a different type of way. If you feel like you're going to mind your business about this protest, you should also mind your business about who the hell is going. That's it. Simple as that. We need to shut down the narrative that Latinos and Hispanic community was not there for y'all. I've seen a lot of people there at the George Floyd protest. I've seen a lot of people there at the Black Lives Matter protest. Please get it together.
Let's address that real quick before I continue this clip. Black Lives Matter protest, George Floyd. First and foremost, half the time we was shut the fuck down, y'all. People was bored. Can we be honest about this shit? People were freaking bored. They didn't want to be in the house as much as they were. Okay? Niggas was on house arrest. Quarantined out like a motherfucker. You talking about you was out there because you can. Man, get the hell out of here. We're going to have to stop playing like this. And look at her talking all fast, but now you want to regulate black folk. You want to regulate black folks. See, this is the issue I have. Yeah. Shout out to brother ABM. I still smash. That's what Cass is looking at her with this. Even with this bonnet on, Cass is looking at her and say they would bop her. Right now. This is the wildest shit.
I need y'all to understand that we are all a minority together. We're not saying that what you went through was not worse, but this is not a competition right now. Also, I need y'all to remember that there's a lot of Hispanic and Latinos that also went through slavery and went through the same oppression that you guys did.
Why the fuck do people online talk like this? Like AIs. Talking on fast. So you got to understand that people went through the same thing that we went through because we held that same. Get the fuck out of here and slow down. Right? I think it's something with the algorithm. That's why they talk like this. Shout out to the 60 plus in here.
The only thing with, and she brings up and I'm not going to blast her because she's right. We don't need to announce when we're not in support of other people's fight. But at a certain point, us black people, man, black Americans, we got to take a stand and stop joining in people's shit and affairs that don't belong to them, because we'll love to say when we're going through something, the statement of John Henry Clark, that we have no allies. Well, motherfucker, if you ain't got no allies, stop joining people's fight.
Come on.
Stop joining people's fight and stop expecting them to join your fight. And stand on what you stand on, whether you're one person, 5 people, 10, 100, 1,000, whether you're on the East Coast or West Coast, South, stand on it.
Right.
Stand on what's right. If you are a black American and it is an injustice towards a black American, and you know that the alienation is what it is, stand on it. And don't waver. See, when we waver, we allow these talking heads to put us in situations that have nothing to do with us. And we know they got nothing to do with us. We just want to do it because it sounds right.
Right.
Because we love to be, excuse the expression, we love to be jerked off. But at the end of the day, if you're getting jerked off and you don't nut, what is the point of getting jerked off? What's the point? Excuse the expression, but so at a certain point, we're going to have to put, a line in the sand is going to have to be drawn and saying, this is not our affair. We don't even need to talk about it.
Right.
They don't need for us to make videos about this whatever she call herself. She just need to stand on what she going to stand on. We going to stand on what we going to stand on.
This is the Afro Latinos, as they call themselves. Salute to Big Meech, brother Big Meech. Salute for checking in. Yes, sir. This is the Afro Latina, as they calling themselves. All these remixed ass names. None of this shit ever resonated even 10, 20 years ago.
Until Negro comes in their home. Negro is around them. And that's when it's pardon me, Chef C.
Yeah, salute, just a call in the building.
Yeah, but as long as Negro is doing and acquiescing to what they want going on, everything is all right. Nah, we don't need you. Anybody that knew about the George Floyd situation knew it was hijacked from the door. Right. So those that was out there either was ignorant or they was part of the bullshit, the big grift.
Right.
And we know, some of us feel like, George Floyd was unjustly killed. We don't want to see nobody get killed, but stop with the trying to make black folks feel bad. Them days is over, man.
Well, I'll say this, Q. A question to the family in here as well. I mean, her rhetoric, is that entitlement that we're hearing from this lady? Link is dropped in the chat, family, for anybody that wants to check in. ABM, definitely check in if you got time, fam. Is this entitlement we're hearing from this immigrant? You can hear it. You can hear she's still fresh off the DR Banana Bowl. You can hear it in her voice. See, they got all of these different packages for these folks, man. Refugee packages, 60 plus in the building. Refugee packages, we put the receipt up, the last broadcast, all the food stamps and cash incentives or allowances that they get. Actual cash, cold hard cash that they get. Of course they don't give a flying. They don't want to hear none of that shit. Let's keep on playing this.
Okay? Yeah. And to the black folks that are talking about, oh, that's the law. Y'all came here illegally, da da da. If y'all really want to be ignorant, so was slavery. Slavery was a law. That still didn't make it right. What are you talking about? Like, what? If y'all want to get on here talking about, oh, y'all should have been at them polls. Y'all should have been this and this and that and third. Da 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 da. Y'all should have been together more as a community. We wouldn't be here. I promise you, mass deportation still would have been a thing. And I want you to remember that 62% of Hispanics in the Latino community voted for Kamala. What are you talking about? And also, use your common sense and your brain, you useless dweebs. Be for real. How are undocumented people going to vote? How?
Get your ass out of here. You know what? Listen. We hear this rhetoric from people who act like they have an understanding, but they don't even see the jokes that takes place in the background. They have all types of streamline. They got people, these illegal immigrants getting social security numbers, voting under these social security numbers of dead folks.
CDLs.
Q. Hold on, brother. Brother Q, hold on. CDLs. I thank you for that, sir. Because I was going right to this CDL situation after this loudmouth. So let's go ahead and bring that up right now and stop playing with it then. Let's stop playing with that.
Issuing CDLs to undocumented.
Yeah, let's get these CDLs. Let's get an understanding of these CDLs. Brothers that have been going to training for so long, you know, having some complications, failing the test to get your CDLs. Well, there's always people who have a streamlined way to get what you've been studying and practicing for a long time without having to go through half of what you've gone through to achieve or in the actual efforts or motion of getting your CDL license. Let's go ahead and hear this.
They just got caught up in Florida for issuing CDLs to undocumented immigrants, commercial driver license to undocumented immigrants, and they did not pass any tests. They just gave them money for these licenses. And it was thousands of undocumented immigrants that they gave these CDLs to without passing any tests. And come to find out, they was using local businesses, pretending like they was helping these immigrants file paperwork, but instead these businesses was used for illegal transactions. 8 people was in on this scheme, and they found $120,000 in one of their apartments, cash. And getting these commercial driver's licenses is no easy task. You have people spending thousands of dollars to go to school just to pass these tests. And I can only imagine this is not only in Florida. It's just that Florida got busted. You know what I'm saying? Florida is the one that got caught. But I'm pretty sure this is nationwide. This is going on all over the place, not just Florida.
That part. Speak to that, Brother Q. You got the flow.
Well, if you know anything about the game, I had an uncle years ago drove trucks. It's long throughout my history, a family that they drove trucks. And if you know anything about the truck driving game and how it's changed over the years and why it's no more money in the truck driving game, is because years ago when they started allowing a lot of these immigrants into the country, whether legal or illegal, what they did is they started team driving. They didn't do team driving. Team driving basically is that truck is never going to stop because when one person's not driving, the other person's driving. So what they did is when they started the team driving, it would be great for couples. It would be great for like brothers or whatever, or even sisters driving, right? And what these companies started doing is they stopped giving them a lot of money per mile for those that know that game, right? So a lot of times, like back in the day in the early 90s, late 80s, my uncle, even though he had his boy with him, he used to run from here to California, from the East Coast to California, quick, in and out, make really relatively good money. So when they started team driving, what they did is they played on the fact that the immigrants, like I said, legal or illegal, what they would do is they would run, do certain things with those books, not stop at those way stations, and the companies would undercut them. And so they really destroyed the trucking game.
Come on.
They destroyed the trucking game. I know it has been a lot of talk in the last 10, 15 years about a lot of brothers coming home from jail. One of the issues that brothers that was coming home from jail that got into trucking was the insurance companies can't insure you if you ain't 10 years conviction free. So what would have happened? The insurance rates is higher, like any other thing. So what they would do is once you get an illegal or any type of immigrant, they have no record that's going to pop up. So they undercut the trucking game. So I could see how this was easily happening with understanding you get a family of illegals that's 3-4 dudes, and they run in teams, or just say 4 of them, they run in teams non-stop. Those 2 trucks is running in the ground, and you could easily see how the DMVs could be manipulated into giving them their CDLs. It's still a language barrier. Let's be honest. We may have people that know Spanish, but we're talking about some of these people have strong dialects of Latin, of Spanish that other people may not even understand. So this is easily plausible and understandable. And I'm sure, like the brother said, that this has happened all the time in the business. And we see it even with, people that are in building homes. I have 2 close friends that are landscapers. They make decent money. They really doing all right for themselves. They're both Black American men. And they get undercut by immigrants and illegals all the time. Manpower, time it takes to do a job, and undercut the bids. So this is, we talk about, oh, I'll get it cheaper. No. What people want with having illegals is we want another word for slave labor. Cheap labor means slave labor. And that's the bottom line. That's how we want to dress it up and, put all this makeup on what's going on. That's what's going on. People want cheap labor. And cheap labor comes from people that don't know their worth.
Q, your audio is a little off. It could be me.
Excuse me. No, I'm here.
There you go. Okay.
How's it now? Better?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what people want is cheap labor and not to pay in a wage that is due. And then they'll say to you, "Oh, we'll never do those jobs." Bullshit. People do those jobs. People clean houses. My grandmother, one of my grandmothers, she cleaned houses for a living. She was a domestic. So like the brother just said, Chris, he said, yeah, the future don't look good for trucking. Now the trucking game has changed. 30 years ago, the trucking game was the way. Jokers was getting money. Now, you see it. See it. Definitely over the road. So I'll land my plane with that.
No doubt, Brother Q. I've been watching the trucking game go the opposite direction for quite some time now, man. I saw when I first peeped it, it was like 2006 when I saw it. And I say, yo, who are these fucking... This cat can't even barely speak English. How the fuck? How are you driving a truck, dropping some shit off at the restaurant that I was running at the time? The only thing he knows is C. I'm like, hold on, wait a minute now.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna hold on for real quick. We got the wolf in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Brother Juan J. Johnson, LWF training is in the building. Brother Juan J. Johnson, sir, good morning to you, and are you up to speed, sir?
Good morning. I am up to speed.
The ordained one has stepped in the building.
Yes, I was wrestling with coming on because I said in the last broadcast that last one may be my last one on these panels. But I figure if our president can be in blue with his Secretary of Defense and his Secretary of State and his Vice President can be in blue, well, you know what? So can I.
Yeah.
Yes, you will.
Yeah.
You look rather dapper this early morning.
That's right.
After dropping bombs on the country without evidence, you gotta show up right, so I can check these spammers. But let's have a conversation. I'm all in. It's maybe my last broadcast, but I'm gonna make it right.
It's never your last broadcast, brother.
Don't do that to us, Wolf. Get out of it. Stop it. 60 plus in the building right now for the Wolf. Listen, go ahead, sir.
In times of war, because I know we're in war times. You know, we've been in war for the last couple of years, but this is we've really stepped up the war piece.
He segued into it, Chef C.
You know,
Hey, hold on. Slow roll it, Wolf. I got some more shit. I got we can't go there yet. I got Arnold. Arnold got to say his shit, and we gonna pull it back. But we gonna go. Listen, we gonna give the folks what they need this morning. Better believe that, sir.
I'll back.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Listen, let me bring something up to y'all, man. Let me keep this going. Illegal immigrant entitlement, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I'm gonna call it immigrant entitlement in general. Okay, let's do that instead. This one lady, which was very interesting. She was a Trump supporter, right? And Trump decided to pack her family up, send him out of here. Okay, yeah, you're here illegal. I'm gonna need you to go home right now. Shout out to ICE doing an exception. I mean, ICE, I do expect a little bit more from you, ICE, but you're doing a good job as of far. I see the rent going down. I see some of the interest going down in different places, ICE. So that means that now that money has dried up in other ways, because yes, United States does give these folks all types of giveaways, and you watch your area interest go up when these folks move into the area. Yeah, let's be clear about that. It's starting to go the other way slowly, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, shout out to ICE getting a part of the job done. Y'all can kick it up a touch more, ICE, but you're making some of the American citizens proud right now, such as myself and any other ICE caller, very, very proud. Okay? So let's go ahead and play this here.
Everybody love everybody! Come on!
It's been happening.
Oh, shit. I will go down Ocho. And then she come through with that, oh, la, 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 wait, la, la, all of that extra la, 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 la shit with the tongue shit. Pack your family up. Y'all got to go, goddammit. Yeah, I don't know. But somebody feeling some type of way for her right now. Chef, why you laughing? Why you making jokes out of this? Shut up. I don't want to hear from you either. I don't want to hear from your sorry ass either. Look at the black community. We need our stuff back. I got no mercy here. You came here illegal, you go home illegally. Get you packed up.
Happening frequently at the 333 Miami Avenue Federal Court building. Janet Correa's husband was detained this week. According to her immigration lawyer, he has already been placed on expedite removal.
That's unfair. This is unfair. I'm so sorry. I don't know how I'm going to say that to my mom. My mom has a very hard time.
Judelka Mejia cannot believe she's going back home without her nephew, 29-year-old Yasael Almonte Mejia. Like many other immigrants, when their case is dismissed, they are detained at the hallway.
I love that. ICE is doing the job, ladies and gentlemen. Have you made your ICE call this week, ladies and gentlemen? That's the question. Okay? Black America, start moving in them Latino communities. I want you to start moving back in there because they was black communities first. Let's be clear. Some of y'all that think it's the Latino community, no, it was a black community first. All right? Move back there and place them calls. It's very easy. I'm going to tell you, I got a story for y'all. I got a story. I moved into a community, and they had a graduation for the kid, Spanish kid. Yeah. So I said to myself, I said, Chef, you know, knowing that they are having a graduation, you know it's going to be some illegal immigrant aunties and uncles or cousins coming there trying to celebrate. Sir, you have an obligation as a citizen to call ICE and let them know that there's somebody that you might have to be picking up. Salute to the 70 plus in the building. So I said to myself, you know what? This is where you get it done. This is how you become a real citizen, ladies and gentlemen. I saw a graduation party. They had all the stuff out there, all the things that you need to know that there's going to be family coming through. I said, you know what? We making that call. I made the call, you know, sat in my truck. All right. Let me, Q, can you put the ICE number in the chat, please, sir?
Let me see if I still have it, because I keep it in my phone on deck.
Yeah. Well, I got it on speed dial here. You know, I got ICE on speed dial now. Don't get me wrong now. Hold on, let me see. Well, let me go into my file. ICE. Let me let y'all know what my mine say in my phone. It says ICE, a moral and civic obligation. 866-347-2423. 70 plus in the building. Ladies and gentlemen, that is how I have ICE categorized in my phone. Okay? ICE, a moral and civic obligation. Okay? 866-347-2423. Okay? Yeah. So, you know, this is what I like to see from Americans. I'm proud of y'all. Let me see what this is. Let me see what Sister Earth's saying. Please speak on this possible drafting of our young black men. I don't believe we should be in war. Well, we will get to that. I hope if the brothers have the information, Sister Earth, we will touch on it for sure. Okay? Listen, I want to bring up another clip here now. I got another clip. I got a special clip for y'all sent to me by one of our viewers, our supporters. Salute to that. Let me see. Oh, it didn't come through. Let me see. Okay, that clip dropped. That's okay. I want to bring up something else for y'all. I want y'all to peep this right here. Now, Arnold Schwarzenegger is really just laying it down, and I got to put some respect on him. Okay? I got to put some respect on Arnold, the last action hero. Ladies and gentlemen, the last action hero, Mr. Terminator himself. Okay? But before we get to Mr. Terminator, I want to show y'all some of the good work that ICE is doing out here, if you don't mind. Look at this. Shout out to ICE. Shout out to ICE going after the Asians. Okay, that's an Asian guy. That's a Mr. Happy Ending right there. Okay? Oh, that's the, you know. You want hot stone? This is one of those. Okay? You want color? This is one of those. Getting hemmed up by 2 female ICE agents. Hemmed him up. Let's go ahead and play this, y'all. Fair use.
John Miller, I see you now.
What's your name, sir?
Jesus.
Say your name.
Jesus.
Are you from
John
here?
Miller.
Oh my God, they're just taking this man, dude.
I see you.
Dude, you guys. This is so scary, you guys. Poor man, dude. Like, so many people are taking this man.
Look at that. I am proud of the ICE agents. I am proud of these ICE agents, ladies and gentlemen. This is how you clean him up. You know where he doing business at? He ain't doing. He not doing business nowhere else. He doing it right in your community. All them sisters, they coming through, getting them fingernails, them acrylics. You getting your acrylic, ain't you, sister? Stop going in there. All right? Stop freaking going in there. Let me bring this up here. Remember this other cat, y'all? I heard ICE sent him a bird and packed him up. Look, let me see y'all. Let me show y'all this cat. Y'all remember this dude, Kobe or whatever the hell his name is? Y'all remember this dude? Packed him up.
The world's most followed TikTok star KB Lame has just left
Got
the
him.
US after being detained by ICE. The 25-year-old Italian influencer, born in Senegal, was picked up by immigration
Get
at
him.
Las Vegas airport on June 6th. ICE says KB overstayed his visa after entering the country. Country back
Get
in
him.
April. He was granted voluntary departure, which means
KB packed him up. That's another one. Yeah. See, all melanators
he
ain't
left
the
the country
same,
on his
y'all.
own terms instead of being deported. The news first surfaced thanks to
Got
conservative
him.
influencer Bo Loudon, who claimed he reported KB and even posted a
Oh, Cody snitching. They hear Chef. Oh, Chef, you snitching out here?
He did it. He did his civic duty.
Did his look?
Influencer Bo Loudon, who claimed he reported KB and even
Bo Loudon called ICE on him, packed him up.
As he should.
He lined him up and sent him home. That's the way we get it done, Black America. Okay? Suit to lose the 70 plus in the building. This is the way you get it done. That's why when Brother Q said in our last broadcast, he said, yo, a lot more people calling ICE than you think. A lot more people calling ICE than y'all want to put on out here. But you leave it up to some niggas. Oh, nigga, you just snitch. All the stupid shit. Get that shit up out of here. You can't shame me into calling ICE. You can't shame me. When shit like this is happening, look, hold on. You want to shame me. You want to shame me for calling ICE when shit like this is happening. Right here. Peep this. Fair use.
Now 12 years old, and today she wanted her voice heard in court.
It did have a huge impact on my life. I would never think this would happen to me.
Today, Alexis Davila tearfully apologized in court, but left the Layton Criminal Courthouse without comment. Davila pleaded guilty to an unprovoked attack on Trinity 2 years ago with a glass bottle in Chicago's Lawndale neighborhood. We first met Trinity in September 2023.
Look at that little girl eyes. Now, of course, you're going to hear from the folks, oh, Chef, black folks beat up black folks all the time. Nigga, shut up. Want to hear your mouth? Let black folks do what black folks going to do to each other. You don't need the added fucking assault and stress put on. You got a grown illegal immigrant cracking a little girl upside her face. Okay? Call ICE. God damn it. Let's play some more of this.
When she was an 11-year-old in pain. Her nose was broken and her eye would be permanently damaged. She's had surgeries and therapy, but the physical and psychological pain remain. Wanda Porter addressed the court, calling this violence motivated by hate, as she and her children were called a racist slur before the attack. Porter is Trinity's mom. Davila was never charged with a hate crime, despite calls for charges to be upgraded by activists. Davila's guilty plea to aggravated battery today was part of a plea deal in which other charges were dropped, and Davila gets alcohol addiction treatment, anger management, and gets her GED. Davila previously served 5 months in jail, then 4 months on electronic monitoring. Today, she was sentenced to probation.
Probation, family? This is what I'm talking about. Hold on. Wait a minute. It's the 1 hour mark. Let me cover Arnold and then we're going to see what type of time it is. But we're talking about probation for a vigilante, essentially, y'all. We're talking about probation for a chick who deemed it necessary to crack a little 11-year-old female little girl in the eyes with a bottle. Like that, you needed that much excessive energy pointed at this little girl. What did she do that was so offensive to that illegal immigrant? Okay, but let's bring this up. Donald Trump, we'll get to you shortly. Let's bring this up right here. Arnold, here to regulate you entitled immigrants.
I think the world of the great kind of a history that we have with immigrants in America. But the key thing also is at the same time that we got to do things legal. That is the important thing, you know. So you got to do things legal. And those people that are doing illegal things in America and that are foreigners, they are not smart. Because when you come to America, you're a guest. And you have to behave like a guest. Like when I go to someone's house and I'm a guest, then I will do everything I can. Keep things clean and to make my bed.
Look at Sonny Hostin, y'all. Look at Sonny Hostin look at her, y'all, trying to slow Arnold down. Putting her hand on him to shut him up. This is the bullshit. This is why, and then she runs around talking that she's black and all this. This is the dangers with this melanated, flat black bullshit. Arnold is putting a foot down on the entitled immigrants, and you got melanated a quarter negresses jumping out the window, landing on the sword for these folks. This is diabolical. Let me play some more of this, y'all. Look at her hand on Arnold. You trying to shut down the last action hero. You trying to tell a Terminator to shut the fuck up.
And to do everything that is the right thing to do rather than committing a crime or being abusive or something like that. So that doesn't really work in this country. I think the world...
There we go. Gentlemen, speak to this, please. I'll go to Brother Q first.
You know, it's amazing, the narrative. You know, sometimes we have to understand that certain issues, definitely when it comes to this, some are very clear. This issue is very clear for a lot of sane folks. For the insane folks, this issue is blurry. I like to consider myself and the brothers I'm on this panel with and some other great people that we're part of the same group. Arnold Schwarzenegger is not a fan of Donald Trump. He is not a fan of Donald Trump. He's a Republican, but he is not a fan of Donald Trump. And they thought when they invited him on here that they were going to use him as a tool to attack Trump's policy.
Bingo. Come on, Q.
And in the narrative, they wanted him, somebody, quote unquote, from the other side, who's a conservative, to attack Trump's policy. But what backfired on them and what's stupid is Arnold Schwarzenegger, prior to his politics, is a world-class bodybuilder.
That part, come on.
Who had the privilege to become an American citizen, and him becoming an American citizen legally, he got that all the way to becoming the governor. He is the poster child for legal immigration.
Absolutely, Q.
Not second generation, first generation legal immigration. He wasn't born here. See, some people get it. They're born here. Their parents was born in another country. They came over here legally. No, Arnold is the worst person that The View should have brought up there, thinking that that he would regurgitate their narrative, and it backfired on them because The View has become and has always become a tool of the Democratic Party media wing. Illegal immigration literally does not make sense. And Arnold had to tell him that in plain English. When you come to somebody else's house, when you're a guest, you obey the rules. Matter of fact, I'm just going, you know what? Earth Angel, I'm coming through. I'm just going to come to your house and just have my own rules. Brother Chris in the chat, I'm coming to your house and have my own rules.
All right, I'm going to your
Angry
refrigerator,
black,
Q.
angry black man. Matter of fact, Juan, I'm coming down there. I'm jumping on that night owl, and I'm just gonna go in your refrigerator, Brother Wolf, and just do what I want. Make me a sandwich. And you better,
hey, brother Q, I'm going in your refrigerator, making a 5-course meal and taking it from your house, and I ain't leaving you no plate.
Yeah, I got Hellmann's. I don't got Dukes in the refrigerator, so you might be upset with the mayonnaise that I'm not. But this is the rationale that you have to explain to somebody when you're on the side that you're not with the illegal immigrants. People look at you like, oh, they say dumb stuff. Well, nobody's here legally. Like, you're not gonna make me feel stupid or try to guilt trip me into thinking that. If that's the case, Black Americans are technically prisoners of war, if we want to play semantics. So don't get us caught up in y'all stuff. And I'm glad Arnold did that, because in spite of his personal gripes with the president, and no man deserves carte blanche anyway. But in spite of his personal disagreements with the president, he stood on business. He stood on what's right. If you're here illegally, not even if you're a guest, you're illegal. I gave this scenario this time. We were playing, we were talking about going in each other's houses. We're talking about a stranger. Some of y'all live in areas that you can leave your doors unlocked. When I first moved, I had to talk to Brother Juan, and Brother Juan was like, man, you better get all the security you can, because I live in a pretty decent area. But imagine leaving your front door open, your screen open, and some random person just come in the house and just start pouring the Kool-Aid. And then tell you, I'm going to commit a crime. Another crime while I'm in here. I might want to, do something to your kids, do something to your wife, do something to your husband. This is the rationale that these people, preferably in the Democratic Party, are allowing this stuff to go on. It really makes no sense. It's really clear. It's not, I understand it's the politics. No. This ain't even political. This just does not make sense. How a guest or somebody not wanted can come in there in your house, not obey your rules, and just do what they want to do. Arnold probably never be a guest on The View again, and I'm going to let him play with that.
Well, that's a fact right there, because you see how Sonny, look at that hand again. I had to bring that back, y'all. Now think about this, family, and we can simplify. We ain't got to overcomplicate it, right? If Sonny feels so emboldened, right, to kind of castigate or try to regulate a guest that was essentially invited on by Whoopi Goldberg, y'all, because her and Arnold seem to, still roll in those actor streets together in some regard, right? Same rooms and shit. So Whoopi invited Arnold to come on to the show just to get there and ask him politics, because under the assumption, right, that he would get there and try to regulate Donald Trump, they were letting him talk until he turned and started talking that shit. And Sonny, I don't know if folks was in her ear or she just did it off a reflex, because that's the kind of echo chamber that they have over there at that View, that Democratic hub, to kind of shut Arnold down. Look at her putting her hand on him. Arnold got so much. First and foremost, Arnold's cachet compared to this Sonny Hostin heifer is way beyond anything. She shouldn't even feel comfortable touching Arnold like that. And now Arnold, don't get me wrong, family, Arnold has said some questionable shit in the past about black folks. He really has. However, in this moment, I rock with him, because anywhere we go, Black America, in this world, this country, and countries abroad, we have to conduct ourselves a particular way. All right? Them sisters went out to Dubai. They was being a little extra. They got sat down in jail for a little bit. How many of y'all remember that? When them sisters went out to Dubai being a little extra, trying to act like they can act the way they act over here in the United States. Dubai said, hold on. You in the wrong spot with that bullshit. Sat him down and said, get some act right. And then we'll let you the fuck out. That's what goes on. So when Arnold echoes that same kind of regulatory sentiment, I respect it. Brother Juan J. Johnson, you got the floor, sir. And then we're going to go to our intermission. We need 2 sponsors today, ladies and gentlemen. We need 2 sponsors. Can we get it done? Brother Juan J. Johnson, you are up, sir.
So I'll say this. Sonny Houston has no credibility because of her husband. It's a fraud with that $450 million lawsuit they've been charged with. But Arnold was 100% right. Arnold is 1,000% right. Arnold is speaking as a patriarch.
That part.
Okay.
That's what, hey, brother Wolf. That's why I ain't take the Pattalk down. I left it up when he was talking. You got to leave that up.
And let me go on record and say this. The View and all these sisters need to stand down. We've given them too much leeway to talk. Again, when you're in wartime, you recognize who your enemies, who your friends, and where your interest is. These illegals, because that's what they are. They're not no migrants. They're illegals. They should be kicked out. And Arnold was 1,000% right when he said what he said about your guest and nothing more. You were a guest. Show some respect. So, but again, our female class in America, not just Black America, but the female class, the empathy class, don't have no discipline. They need to shut up.
Oh, Wolf not letting up with this. I see you, Wolf.
First one to say, go get him.
The volume got killed. Shake it in, Brother Juan.
Yeah, because they mess with me now.
There you go.
They'll be the first ones to say, rah, 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 go get him. And then they'll step back and watch you get killed. And then move on to the next person. The View is garbage. And those who watch The View, you're garbage.
Come on.
I land my plane with that.
This nigga, what? Yes, indeed, Brother Y.J. Johnson. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to our first and only intermission of today's broadcast. We need sponsorship today. Let's see if we can go ahead and make that happen. Ladies and gentlemen, feel free to hit that cash up, become our first sponsor at $25. Makes you the sponsor, co-sponsor, another $25, and the sole sponsor will go above that $25 contribution. Let's see what we can get going here, ladies and gentlemen. Salute to everybody that's checked in with us right now. Let's see if we can get it going, baby. Salute.
to death Negroes are my enemy.
To support the program, $ FTS49, ladies and gentlemen, to become our sponsor. This is a $25 contribution to become our sole sponsor or co-sponsor. $25 contribution. And to surpass that is a $26 and above contribution to be the sole sponsor of today's broadcast. Let's keep the doors open. Salute.
Scared to death Negroes are my enemy.
Shout out to Kev with the contribution. I appreciate you, man. Putting on the books. $5 contribution. I appreciate you, brother Kev. Yes, indeed. We're still looking for our sponsor of today. $ FTS49 to keep this thing going, ladies and gentlemen. Salute to my sister Earth Angel for coming through, being a sponsor of today's broadcast. Sister Earth, we appreciate you. Let's get some more contributions in here, ladies and gentlemen. Salute to Sister Earth. I'm gonna get you in the building right here. Salute to Sister Earth.
Everybody love everybody! Come on!
A bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit?
Yes, indeed. Let's get ready to crank this thing back up, ladies and gentlemen. We are back here with it.
I've been all over the world. I've noticed this about Black Americans, and I'll stop here. We have more people trying to turn us around than I've seen for any other group anywhere in the world relative to what our situation is. That you got teachers, you got people that will just do stuff. If they find out you're legit, just help you because they want to see Black folks make it. We do have this. This is lacking in other places, I can assure you. But you know what? Our desire to save people cannot be greater than people's desire to be saved and to help. So the people that do not want it, let them go. Jesus said, let the dead bury the dead. I sure get it nowadays.
Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, indeed. We are back and we are here and we are appreciative to our sister Earth Angel becoming the sponsor of today's broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. Got to put some respect on my sis. Salute to Sister Earth Angel for coming through. Yes, indeed, Sister Earth. We appreciate you, sis, for keeping the lights and exhaust fans going in the kitchen, sis. We're going to throw a little howl on the end for you as well, sis. We appreciate you for keeping it going. Also, Brother Kev with the $5 contribution. We appreciate you, Brother Kev, coming through, putting on. Good to see you, man. I haven't seen you in a while, Brother Kev, but that's good, man. Good to have you back into the fold as well. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get to wartime talk now. All right. Now, my brother Wolf came in on our last broadcast, ladies and gentlemen, and he said to us, he said, listen, Netanyahu just dropped impromptu bombs on Iran. He didn't ask no permission. He didn't check in with nobody. Just dropped them motherfuckers. Okay? And what didn't happen was the woman of that particular class and population coming out and speaking against his actions to protect his people. That's what one of the things that stood out to me in our previous conversation. Okay? And now, since then, ladies and gentlemen, we've watched the United States get more involved in this thing. Okay? And my question at the end of the day for everybody that's checked in at 90 plus, justified contribution or involvement or not? Is it justifiable the United States getting involved with Israel's invasion, essentially, as far as I'm concerned? I'm tired of that Netanyahu and them Israel's always getting away with shit, and the United States being the hoe of a country that it is, going over there bailing them out. Now, folks ain't gonna necessarily like what I'm saying today. I am tired of Israel. I am sick of it. I am sick of the shadow dictator aspirations from Netanyahu and alike. Okay? And United States being hired mercenaries for them, essentially. What goods do the United States have over there? What interests? Thorough interest that particularly trickles down to the Black American community, y'all. Helps us in any way, shape, or form. Right? This stuff, I'm here, and here's what I also want to keep in mind, right? We have so many sleeper cells here in the United States already. Because the United States want to welcome every fucking body. Right? These actions, you think, let's be realistic. Let's go to war. Let's talk wartime. And I'm not talking about no 38 laws of power bullshit. I'm talking about war. You think folks that are here because United States invites everybody, you think they're just letting that shit go? Folks live by a different creed. They may become United States citizens. They may take the oath, quote unquote oath. Right? But it doesn't mean that they don't feel some type of way and are planning in some way, shape, or form of getting a lick back. I do not support Trump's involvement in this particular thing. Now, some folks are, yeah, Chef, he had nukes, Chef. Iran were building nukes, Chef. We got to do something about that. Okay. United States has nukes. Couple other countries got nukes. We sending the bully United States, that is the bully United States, yeah. Sending them around, punking folks, because United States has also a sector which they send out what is called economic hitmen, ladies and gentlemen. They send out these economic hitmen to scout the resources in these other countries. And essentially say, okay, get down or lay down or we coming to take your shit. Right? This is why when Bush, remember when Bush went over there trying to talk to them folks, they was throwing slides at him. Huh? Dude threw 2 slides at him, tried to take his top smooth off. Let me go find that clip. Let me remind folks what happens here, okay? Bush almost got his wig peeled the fuck back. Dude threw them slides out, and then guess what? The coon version of his of that guy's people jumped out in front of Bush, trying to protect him. Okay? Salute to the 90 plus in the building. Salute to the 90 plus in the building. I'm also send a major salute to my sis Lioness Crown. She sent me some stuff that's gonna kind of shed an alternative light on what we've been watching here with this particular, as far as I'm concerned, political theater. Because what if I said to y'all that's in the audience, family, that a lot of this stuff didn't actually happen. We're only getting the information fed through our media portals. What if I told you that that particular bunker that was bombed was already covered up in advance, ladies and gentlemen? What if I told you that some of the damage, quote unquote, projected through the media platforms that we get our information from is bullshit? Ginned up CGI type of bullshit. I'm going to show you some stuff, ladies and gentlemen, but nonetheless, let's play the speech from Donald Trump, ladies and gentlemen. He's addressing the people here after the quote unquote successful bombing of Iran and its cohort. Well, let's touch on this a touch here. Let's see what we can touch on. Okay. Let's see if I can get this thing up. Hold on. What did they do? They took it down? No, they ain't take it down. Stop playing. Stop playing, y'all. Hold on. Bear with your boy. In the meantime, be sure to share, like, and subscribe if you haven't already done so, ladies and gentlemen. This is off of Trump's platform addressing the people. So let's go ahead and bring this up to you. See if we can get some understanding here. Okay? Fair use.
Thank you very much. A short time ago, the U.S. military carried out massive precision strikes on the 3 key nuclear facilities in the Iranian regime: Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan. Everybody heard those names for years as they built this horribly destructive enterprise. Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity and a stop to the nuclear threat posed by the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. Tonight, I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular military success. Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated. Iran, the bully of the Middle East, must now make peace. If they do not, future attacks will be far greater and a lot easier. For 40 years, Iran has been saying death to America, death to Israel. They have been killing our people, blowing off their arms, blowing off their legs with roadside bombs. That was their specialty. We lost over 1,000 people, and hundreds of thousands throughout the Middle East and around the world have died as a direct result of their hate. In particular, so many were killed by their general, Qasem Soleimani. I decided a long time ago that I would not let this happen. It will not continue. I want to thank and congratulate Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu. We worked as a team like perhaps no team has ever worked before. And we've gone a long way to erasing this horrible threat to Israel. I want to thank the Israeli military for the wonderful job they've done. And most importantly, I want to congratulate the great American patriots who flew those magnificent machines tonight, and all of the United States military on an operation the likes of which the world has not seen in many, many decades. Hopefully, we will no longer need their services in this capacity. I hope that's so. I also want to congratulate the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Dan Raisin Kane, spectacular general, and all of the brilliant military minds involved in this attack. With all of that being said, this cannot continue. There will be either peace or there will be tragedy for Iran far greater than we have witnessed over the last 8 days. Remember, there are many targets left. Tonight's was the most difficult of them all, by far, and perhaps the most lethal. But if peace does not come quickly, we will go after those other targets with precision, speed, and skill. Most of them can be taken out in a matter of minutes. There's no military in the world that could have done what we did tonight, not even close. There has never been a military that could do what took place just a little while ago. Tomorrow, General Kane, Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth will have a press conference at 8 a.m. at the Pentagon. And I want to just thank everybody, and in particular, God. I want to just say we love you, God, and we love our great military. Protect them. God bless the Middle East. God bless Israel. And God bless America. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Let's go to the brothers. You know what? In this segment, we're going to lead off with Brother Wolf. In war times, you go to the warriors. So a salute to the 100+ in here. Interpretation, Brother Wolf, what say you?
I just dropped the scripture in the chat. Because this is basically the premise that Americans and the politicians stand on. I will bless them that bless thee, and I will curse them that curse thee. And that scripture was given, that word was given to Abraham. Okay? And most of your evangelicals and your politicians and those who come under, who side with AIPAC, they always throw this scripture in the face that we are supposed to blindly support Israel. But this ain't Israel.
Come on.
This is Zionism. Okay? And the two are not the same. It's just not the same. I am not on board. Now, I did make a comment last week about, I stand with BB. I stand with BB because he's ruthless when it comes down to protecting his people. We don't have enough brothers and sisters out here. And he's unapologetic. But America should go and bomb Iran with no evidence, nothing. You're out of order.
Let's adjust that audio a touch, Brother Wolf. I think it was probably. Can you speak?
Can you hear me now?
Testing. There you go. Nice and clear. There you go.
They out of order. I don't mind supporting Israel, but I'm not supporting Zionism.
Come on.
The two ain't the same. This man has gone on record for the last 30, 40 years saying he wanted the destruction of Iran. Okay? And he's on tape saying this. And all our politicians, I can say all of them, enough of them are on board with this. Whatever happened to the War Powers Act? Whatever happened to Congress giving the okay? Okay? This is not right. But I understand, like, again, you know, we believe that we believe that they are God's chosen people. That's another conversation. But I'm going to land with that.
That part, Brother Wolf. Ladies and gentlemen, Brother Juan J. Johnson. Keeping it plain, keeping the main thing the main thing. Q, man. Let's have a conversation, Q. I mean, again, I'm watching real dictator tactics being implemented and supported by a country who's basically got its citizens butt naked out here. We're amongst sleeper cells, okay? Because we've invited and we got this immigration thing that's so heavy over here, allowing these immigrants in from everywhere, anywhere. You don't know when you about to get juxed or not. You don't know friend or foe, right? And now that the gates have been open for so many freaking years, I really don't see how America's leadership, quote unquote, leadership, hasn't done more to give us a shelter in dangerous war times. See, a lot of folks, because we're here in the United States, you act like you ain't got nothing to be concerned about. Right? Other places, they tell you where your bunkers are in case of emergencies, where you need to go. How many people realistically know where you should go in times of emergency? Ladies and gentlemen, can you keep it a buck in here today? Where are you going in times of emergency other than the old school going to your basement, close and close the doggone the door? That shit ain't it. Where are we to go when there's a mutiny within these borders? Where is refuge if you haven't gotten together with your family and come up with an alternate plan for yourselves, ladies and gentlemen, and say, this is where we're going to meet. This is the checkpoint. Those kind of conversations, we got to be realistic, Black America, aren't even being had because folks don't even want to talk about death, plans for life insurance in the event that I pass. Them kind of serious conversations Black folks don't even want to have. So you think you're having conversations with folks in the case of an emergency when you can't even have that conversation, other than only time your family want to talk to you is about having a barbecue or cookout or a family reunion? Barely Black folks even want to have a conversation about business, let alone for those of us who really believe in Black empowerment and progression. They barely want to have that conversation with you. You come and they see you. Oh, let's go over here. Here this nigga go again with that Black shit. Right? So I'm saying this to say, okay, yeah, you're talking about how you put foot to neck on somebody. Salute to the 110 plus in here. You put foot to neck on some people in a totally different country who doesn't have the same resources. You bragging, bully? I don't respect that. I don't respect your cowardice in the eyes of a smaller bully. But you're leveling that smaller bully up in Netanyahu bitch ass. Israel, everything about Israel. When they're moving for a slow dictatorship on the come up. Shit, I can't even call it a slow dictatorship. I think they've been pulling strings for a long time, particularly when it comes to America. Right? So we got to be realistic here, ladies and gentlemen. In the chat, keep it a buck. How many of you, by a show of ones, have gotten together with your family, right, and come up with a plan in case of emergency, and they were receptive to it? Right? How many of you have gotten together and had that conversation? This is where we go. 2, by a show of sauteed pans or a fried egg or something in that chat. How many of you have been informed by our government, not the plan you and your family made, but our government, of where to go in case of emergencies, depending on what region you are in? Right? I don't see that getting hammered through enough. I don't even see it at all, quite frankly. A lot of folks up here in New Jersey, these northern states, they don't know where the emergency places are. The equivalent of what a potential bunker could be for folks. What real shelter looks like. We got to be honest over here. The United States itself has been engaging in, as far as I'm concerned, treason to its own people. Lack of informing and lack of providing appropriate resources across the board, and even some that are necessary to our community, specifically Black America. I think we are a bunch of deer in headlights. Let me put it plain. A bunch of deer in headlights, and then when you start talking about protections with people that you love, they look at you like you the crazy one. They don't want to have a conversation. Let's keep that a buck. Brother ABM, if you in there, man, hit the link. I pinned it. I got to hear from you. Let me go to Brother Q, man. Brother Q, what say you, sir?
Let me preface this by one of my favorite drops.
Men died in North Africa fighting the Germans. Black men died at Anzio Beach, at Palermo, at Naples, to free Rome, to free Paris, to free Europe. Damn it! Yeah, we died to build America, and America has rebuilt Germany, Japan, and the nigger is still suffering and dying in the streets of America.
Come on. Give me let me hold on, Q. God damn it. You know what? Q, I might need you to play that again for me, sir. And salute to my brother Nico. Good to see you, man. I haven't seen you in a while. I was looking for you, Nico, man. Salute to our brother Nico for checking in. Where my sister Star at? I ain't see her either. But Q, man, if you can just play it one more time for folks, because I'm just trying to make it plain, quite frankly, sir. But can you just play that one more time? I think cats hear us play these little clips and just hear it as a, not something to take serious, right? But when I play, this particular clip in here.
Scared to death Negroes are my enemy.
I actually mean that. I mean that. It might be cool to some folks.
In North Africa fighting the Germans. Black men died at Anzio Beach, at Palermo, at Naples, to free Rome, to free Paris, to free Europe. Damn it! Yeah, we died to build America, and America has rebuilt Germany, Japan, and the nigger is still suffering and dying in the streets of America.
That part. Come on, Q. Cook, Q.
I'm a preface this that this is not something that I wanted to happen. For most of my adult life, I have had a close family member in our armed forces. I have a cousin who she was part of special forces when they went and got Noriega. She was part of special forces during Desert Shield and Desert Storm. And she just retired in 2012. My son is in the Mediterranean as we speak. I actually got a text from him before we went live this morning. He's okay. He's fine. He's not in the service. He's a civilian over there working. So this is a little bit different because I know how these beasts will create false flags to fit their narrative.
Right. Come
on. So it's a little different. I'm a little worried. I'm not going to sit there in front. However, I'm sick of Israel's shit too. I understand I've heard a lot of different narratives in the last 14 and a half hours. A lot of people done hit me up and told me their spin. A lot of pro-Trump people, people that are objective, a lot of people that are pro-Israel. However, it's a narrative that I believe majority of Americans are tired of being played. We've been hearing about Iran, most of us since we've been alive, how messed up these regimes have been, and the United States have been running coups forever.
Come on.
Killing all leaders and putting their own leaders in position. And then next thing you know, when those leaders don't get in pocket, they kill them too. Dr. Short and I had a conversation yesterday, and he, for lack of better words, I would consider Dr. Short an urban expert on this issue. He's got people over there. And the conversation that Dr. Short and myself had, I will share with you guys something that a lot of people don't really understand. And that is when you're dealing with the Shia, when you're dealing with Iranians. Iranians are not like the average people that you may meet that's from the Middle East. It is different. They consider their Ayatollah, their supreme leader, the same individual who Israel tried to kill over 10 years ago, who survived the bombing. They consider him their representation of God on earth.
Come on.
He has more power than their president. He has already named his successor if he gets killed. So I do think that this country really made a major mistake. I personally did not think Donald Trump would do it. And it doesn't matter if it was Donald Trump, Kamala, Joe Biden, Harry Houdini. We are the legal armed big brother of Israel. Our politicians are bought and sold by AIPAC, at least 85% of them. And until the American people understands the Constitution and how, whether we like it or not, those forefathers, the Constitution is written for dummies. And it's written for dummies like myself, who is a layman. And it's written for us as a protection to hold our political elected officials accountable. All of them are traitors. When they don't have the best interest of the people of the country.
Cue your audios off a little bit.
Ahead of their special interest.
Okay.
These special interest groups, AIPAC, basically run the country. We are the puppet of Israel. And the last person, whether we like it or not, to challenge Israel was Kennedy.
Come on.
And they purposely blew his head off in front of people as a warning.
Right. Come on, Q.
And we need to understand the people, by the people, for the people, by the people, that we need to understand that Constitution is for us to hold the elected officials accountable. No elected official. There's so many elected officials. We had the list, I think we presented it before, of so many of these elected officials who have dual citizenship to Israel. And when I say Israel, I don't mean the Jewish people. The Jewish people and Zionists and Israel are three different entities.
That's right.
Jewish people, for the most part, are good people. They just trying to live their life and do what they do. They just like any other religion or ethnicity. But when you're talking about evil and people that have narratives and people that don't care about human life, is Zionists. And that's just plain and simple. These people are playing games with people's lives. And when you look at yesterday's action and you add that to what the former administration did by allowing 20 million unchecked illegal people into this country, that should put a whole bunch of us at pause.
That part. Because
anybody can be weaponized. And when we say weaponized, we have to understand weaponized, when you're talking about an ideology, ideology is not like a political belief. My political belief, or anybody on the panel's political belief, can change based off of policy. We've seen that in immigration. The Democratic Party made a strong pivot in the last 10 years when it came to illegal immigration. And we use that when we speak about them and how they made the pivot. But this is bigger than that. When you start dealing with people in other countries who literally look at America as the great shaitan, the devil, and they did not initiate this. Israel initiated this. And we jumped into it because we're in bed with Israel. So in their eyes, they've been preparing for this for 40, 50 years. They've raised their kids to prepare for this. So, we'll see what comes from it, but I don't think it was a good idea. I think it was very, very miscalculated. I think that a lot of people that, who are warmongers will be like, oh, we're just going to annihilate them. Until you've seen death, until you have to, and let's remember what happened during the pandemic and what happened during Desert Storm. At one point, because now with the internet, at one point we saw these people ordering body bags. Unless you've actually seen on your street the army pull up to somebody's house to give them that victim notification about their loved one that got killed overseas, unless you've witnessed that, unless you've been a part of that, unless you've seen the American flag and understand when it goes to half-mast in front of somebody's house, you have no idea. You have no idea. And we need to be put on alert because, like I said, we that go about our jobs every day, do what we got to do. You don't know what somebody next to you is thinking or has been told to think. We just don't know. So now we walk. Y'all remember? Most of us remember 9/11. Some of us was running around here walking around uptight for no reason other than we believed everything we seen. And you may still believe everything was what they said it was. But just the thought of not knowing should have you uptight. Because this beast, man, these people have these narratives and they'll have you believe in something that's not even true. Leave people alone, man. Live and let live. With that, I'm going to land my plane.
No doubt, Q. Let me bring this up because, we got this secretary. Well, we got the war guy coming out. Basically talking about, this complete disarming of any potential nuclear threat over there. We'll see, though. We'll see. And I mean, honestly, quite frankly, The weaponization at will that continues to happen when it comes to this Israel alliance. It just doesn't seem, it doesn't give me any pleasure or encouragement that this is a proper alliance here. We're looking at people who get to do essentially whatever the fuck they want to do. And they have a full corporation behind them at any given time to get behind and do what they want. The shit annoys me, and I hate having seen it over the years. And then again, like I said, the guy just being able to bomb when he felt like it. I just look at Black America like, man, there's got to be a different way for us to get that kind of freedom.
They tell you that Iran should not have a nuclear bomb.
While having
They tell you
tons.
Iran should not have a nuclear bomb. The only war that we know that Iran has been in our lifetime was the 10-year war with Iraq. Yeah, they may have been sponsoring some other stuff, but what have we been doing? We are the country who dropped the bomb. We were the first country to ever drop a bomb. You know how many coups we've been a part of? And then we got the nerve to police other places? And I love America. I am an American. I am a Black American. Don't get it twisted. However, we need to call this shit out. These people are bloodthirsty, warmonger, neocons. And all they want to do is death, destruction, and mayhem. That's it. It's not their kids. And it's just like when you look at it, it's just like the weird, distorted immigration policy. Those that don't have a problem with illegals, they don't live amongst you and I.
Bingo. Come on.
They live up in their fancy hills, in their fancy apartments. These people's kids ain't in the front lines. These people's kids ain't even in harm's way, and they actually probably sharing intelligence with their families. If it goes down, you don't think that these people got bunkers? And I know it's been a lot of reports that, and I've seen it. Since we started this broadcast, I've seen where Iran is basically saying, y'all didn't do nothing to us. We're going to attack, and we take it as a form of aggression, but y'all didn't do nothing to us. The bottom line is 2 weeks ago, the Israel killed the fucking negotiator. The guy was coming to negotiate, and Israel killed him. This country needs to be held accountable for their shit. Whether it's Trump, Dump, whoever.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's play this here. We got this coming in. And basically, people, is a little bit of bragging rights, but we'll see here. A little bravado.
Last night, on President Trump's orders, U.S. Central Command conducted a precision strike in the middle of the night against 3 nuclear facilities in Iran, Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan, in order to destroy or severely degrade Iran's nuclear program. And as the chairman of the Joint Chiefs will demonstrate, it was an incredible and overwhelming success. The order we received from our commander-in-chief was focused, it was powerful, and it was clear. We devastated the Iranian nuclear program. But it's worth noting the operation did not target Iranian troops or the Iranian people. For the entirety of his time in office, President Trump has consistently stated for over 10 years that Iran must not get a nuclear weapon. Full stop. Thanks to President Trump's bold and visionary leadership and his commitment to peace through strength, Iran's nuclear ambitions have been obliterated. Many presidents have dreamed of delivering the final blow to Iran's nuclear program, and none could until President Trump. The operation President Trump planned was bold and it was brilliant. showing the world that American deterrence is back. When this president speaks, the world should listen. And the U.S. military, we can back it up. The most powerful military the world has ever known. No other country on planet Earth could have conducted the operation that the chairman is going to outline this morning. Not even close. Just like Soleimani found out in the first term, Iran found out when POTUS says 60 days that he seeks peace and negotiation, he means 60 days of peace and negotiation. Otherwise, that nuclear program, that nuclear capability will not exist. He meant it. This is not the previous administration. The President Trump said no nukes. He seeks peace, and Iran should take that path.
All right. Hold on. Let me get little homie in here real quick, y'all.
A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
All right, brother Wolf. That's my little homie bullshit. Okay? A shout out to him. Okay? Let me get the Wolf in here, sir. Can we speak to this? What say you?
Again, I'm not an Iranian pacifist. I'm just for doing things right. And show me the evidence. Show me why you went and dropped the bombs.
Come on.
Whatever happened to the War Powers Act? Whatever happened to Congress? I see a lot of bravado going on.
Come on.
A lot of bravado. Like, you know what? We did it. Nobody can do it like us. What are you talking about? I think America suffers from, again, we Americans have this bloodthirst. It's unquenchable. And Black Americans, because we are in it with, we're guilty by association. You know. Again, I don't think we realize that those 20 million people who came through the Biden administration, that was an army. Not just of Latinos, but Asians, Arabs. There's an army on the shore. And I think people don't realize that just because we have a body of water separating our country from their country, they've already got the army here. Watch this. All of the deportation that Trump is trying to do, right? He may have deported maybe how many thousand since he's been in office? Not a whole lot. There's an army. There is an army on these shores waiting for the go. And that, my friend, that bombing, and that you're literally talking about taking out the Ayatollah Khomeini, the representation of God. It's like the Pope among the Catholics. The Pope is God's voice on this earth to the Catholics. The Ayatollah is God's voice to his people. We don't really know. We really have no idea of this beehive we just opened up. That's why I say it's too late to be getting ready. You need to be ready.
And with that, Brother Wolf, I need to do this. See, now you just sent me the bird. You just sent me the damn bird. Okay. Shout out to Lioness. My sister sent me this bird as well. I want to share something with y'all. Okay. And Wolf said, instead of getting ready, you should have been ready. Well, ladies and gentlemen, breaking news. Okay. Iran just ordered the Straits of Horus. I forgot how I can't race. Horus. All right. Ordered the Straits of Horus to close. And those Straits of Hormuz, just so everybody understands, they control about 20% of the global oil, gas that's coming through, y'all. Okay? Let me say this again. The Iranian parliament has just ordered the Straits of Hormuz Strait must be closed. The strait handles 20% of global daily oil shipments. Its closure could send prices soaring, y'all. So yeah, we saw it go on the other direction for a little bit, right? A little bit of splash here and there. But now we're going to be looking at some shit that regular, probably around $5 up if you're up top. California, y'all always been like $7 for regular and shit like that. Y'all going to be going to like $12 to $15 for regular gas. Okay? The steps will come in effect pending a final decision by Iran's Supreme Court, ladies and gentlemen. This is today. This is today, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody that's tapped in 110 plus in here. If you ain't got no gas in your shit, you need to get right. Fill your tank up. Get you one of them little $5 gas, them little gas tank joints that you can keep at the crib. Go ahead and fill that up. Okay. Make sure you support this program because I'm going to need some gas in my vehicle as well. Okay. Support the program. Okay. Shout out to Sister Earth for sponsoring us. $FTS49, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. I got to get some gas in my tank so I can keep breaking some news for y'all. Yeah. So I can keep my foot on your neck in a positive way for Black America.
Chef C, I want to pull something up real quick.
Yes, sir. Drop it and I'll pull it. Pause. 110 plus in here, ladies and gentlemen, and this has just happened. So you know what that domino effect looks like for all my people with the premium gas. That shit is going to go crazy, ladies and gentlemen. Do what you got to do. Some of y'all folks that got to have premium in there, I believe some of your vehicles do allow exception for regular gas in it. I have my Range Rovers and shit. Every once in a blue, I could put regular in there, but for the most part, it had to, it had to be premium. So I would say in this case, y'all, we see what's happening. It is World War III already. I don't care what y'all think. It's World War III already. Get your minds right. If you ain't got gas masks, you ain't got other shit that you need to have. You need to have that because it's about to get popped up. Okay, let me pull up what Brother Q just sent me. Let me see.
Iran continues to seek expansion of its influence in the Middle East, despite the degradation to its proxies and defenses during the Gaza conflict. Iran has developed and maintains ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, and UAVs, including systems capable of striking U.S. targets and allies in the region. Tehran has shown a willingness to use these weapons, including during a 2020 attack on U.S. forces in Iraq and in attacks against Israel in April and October 2024. Iran's cyber operations and capabilities also present a serious threat to U.S. networks and data. The IC continues to assess that Iran is not building a nuclear weapon, and Supreme Leader Khamenei has not authorized the nuclear weapons program that he suspended in 2003. The IC continues to monitor closely if Tehran decides to reauthorize its nuclear weapons program. In the past year, we've seen an erosion of a decades-long taboo in Iran on discussing nuclear weapons in public, likely emboldening nuclear weapons advocates within Iran's decision-making apparatus. Iran's enriched uranium stockpile is at its highest levels and is unprecedented for a state without nuclear weapons. Iran will likely continue efforts to counter Israel and press for U.S. military withdrawal from the region by aiding, arming, and helping to reconstitute its loose consortium of like-minded terrorists and militant actors, which it refers to as its axis of resistance. Although weakened, this collection of actors still presents a wide range of threats, including to Israel's population, U.S. forces deployed in Iraq and Syria, and to U.S. and international military and commercial shipping and transit.
want to be clear when it comes to Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard is the Director of National Intelligence. This clip right here is a clip that she has said that people have misconstrued as saying that they do not have nuclear weapons. As you could clearly hear her say, they don't want nuclear weapons. That's not been their objective. Their objective is to arm themselves to protect themselves from outside agitation. Whether we could say it's Israel, whether we could say the United States interest, Iran may have, to be objective, may have done some things over there to people, but they've always claimed to be provoked. I bring this clip up to explain the justification for some of the pushback. Because if you're saying that they don't have nuclear weapons, but you're attacking them and they're attacking their nuclear facilities, you're contradicting yourself. These facilities that y'all attacked are not active. Not for what they think they're active for. And we could be saying when they're playing a game, it's a game. I've heard that some people feel like Trump is playing a 52 fake out with the deep state. But whatever's going on, it affects you and I. And that's all I care about. It affects you and I.
Well, you know what, Q? Let me walk with you a touch here. I saw where this was going at some point. I see how America's willingness to jump on anything moving, especially when it comes by the command. And I'm saying command intentionally because the command from Israel in any way, shape, or form, we see the bullshit happens. Israel has made their position very clear. Israel's leadership in particular has made their position clear over several years, what they intend to do. America appears to be the whore for hire. Even in some instances right now, we look at it and we say, we look and we say that, some of the stats are out here saying that Iran's gas, we get a negative amount of gas from Iran. So it says it's not going to be a major impact on the oil itself. I beg to differ. I also believe that that part of that relationship. Remember when they told us why they had to go and kill Saddam Hussein? Remember all. You just got to take into account all of the reasons why America justified going into a space and bombing it and invading folks. It was all we found out a lot of it was cap. A lot of it was cap. The reason they told us was not the reason they went. And they went and they mobilized our kids, our brothers and sisters, to send them out there essentially to be invaders, hoarders of resources, 120 plus in here. I don't see this being any different, ladies and gentlemen, and only to the degree that, Israel may be sharing some of that resource that they acquire from Iran with the U.S. in this case, which could be the very oil that they are now cutting the faucet off to. Okay? I mean, somebody help me out if I'm far-fetched with this. U.S. doesn't go anywhere unless they gain something. All right? These are real conquests, for sure. They want that oil that they just turned the spigot off of. That's what it is. But they're telling you it's to protect Israel. And Israel is in on the bag.
I got a different perspective.
Yes, sir. Please share.
I think a lot of these people out here, again, I keep saying this, they have a fascination with death. And they have a fascination with trying to make the scriptures come to pass. These people really want to see a holy war. They want to see a global war. They've always wanted a global war. They want this book of Revelations to come to pass. That's what they really want. And they want it to happen in their lifetimes. They couldn't.
Exactly. They cannot survive on for peace.
Yeah.
Israel could never. Israel will not be a country if it's peaceful.
Right. So when you really when you're talking about a holy war, you're talking about Israel would not, the nation state would not survive this. It's only the size of New Jersey.
Wake that up.
On the map, Israel is about the size of New Jersey. Okay? These folks can keep tossing bombs into Israel for decades. They won't survive it. But again, they want to see a holy war. They want to see the scriptures be fulfilled at the core of them. That's why these crazy evangelicals on board. That's why I dropped that scripture. Those who support Israel support God, and those who curse Israel curse God. Well, my question to the Christian community, who's more important, God or Israel?
Come on. Come on.
Not putting no, if you ain't careful, Israel has become idolatry. You worship Israel. You don't worship Israel. Everything they do is not right. One's right now, and that man right now can't even track their tribe. They couldn't take it. They're from Dan, Judah, Simeon. They don't even know the tribe they come from. Okay? But this is all about a holy war. This is all about a holy war. And everybody becomes collateral damage in the holy war. It's all about, it ain't about permanent enemies and friends, it's about the interests. That's why I keep saying the global world war, because that's what they want to see. A lot of older generations, the boomers, the silent, they've been waiting for this to happen, man. At our expense. So this is bigger than the oil. They want to see blood. They want to see a destabilization of the whole world. This is not, look, China's going to get involved. Russia's going to get involved. Just like we are the big brother for Israel, trust and believe. Iran has a big brother too.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Well, you know what? I want to share something that one of our supporters sent me here via email. Okay, let me share something. Let me see if I can bring it up real quick, y'all. Let's make it make sense. In the meantime, though, as I go ahead and pull this thing up, let me show you this here as well. Because, again, another person out there is saying, listen, all of this shit y'all hearing on TV is cap. It's real cap right now. So let's go ahead and bring this over to the stage. Let me see if I can drop this down. Let me see if I can close this out. Hold on one second. How do I close that out, Q?
Come on.
Let me see. How do I take that Chelsea Gabbard out? Let me bring this up.
Oh, I got it. There we go.
There we go. Let me bring this up. Boom. Now, this is a Israel reporter out there saying, listen, y'all, this is a game. They running a play on y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I'm going to show you what it looked like on the grounds for real. Fair use.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم از کیلومتر 25 اتوبان قم تهران و در نزدیکی ورودی سایت.
Now, y'all try to read as quickly as you can. Y'all, of course, is in their language, their native tongue. But, zoom in if you got to. But he's essentially saying it's bullshit out here, y'all. Don't listen to this. This is theater.
هسته فوردو این گزارش تقدیمتون میکنم. تنها دودی که دیده میشه در آسمان نزدیک به فوردو دودی است که از سمت مقابل سایت هسته فوردو، جایی که به نظر میرسه مربوط به پدافند هوایی فوردو میباشه دیده میشه. من خودم حدوداً ساعت 3 بامداد به این نقطه رسیدم. تحرک خاصی از سوی ماشین‌های امدادی یا آتش نشانی ندیدم به جز یک ماشین امدادی که در حال انتقال به نظر می‌رسید یک مجروح باشه، البته بدون صدای آژیر، به سمت قم رو مشاهده کردم. در شهر قم صدای بسیار خفیفی شنیده شد، لرزش زمینی احساس نشد و شرایط هم در اتوبان قم تهران و هم در شهر قم به صورت عادی در حال جریانه. این گزارش رو من الان حدوداً ساعت 7 بامداد تقدیم شما دارم می‌کنم. بر اساس مشاهدات مردمی که در یک مجتمع اقامتی همین نزدیکی‌ها حضور داشتن، حدوداً صدای 6 انفجار شنیده شد. البته صدای انفجار برای این افراد غیر قابل تصور و یا خیلی زیاد نبود.
Now, I hope y'all got that. I know some of y'all had to read, and, niggas don't want to work sometime. But he's essentially said, okay, he heard a couple little rumblings here and there, but it wasn't no crazy wild shit going on like y'all think. I'm out here on the grounds for real. I'm showing you what it looked like. It didn't bust off that way. So, I mean, more information will be coming out, ladies and gentlemen. We'll try to keep our eyes on this to see if it's a real situation. It could be very well so. Maybe he was a little, he's still a little behind on it. But we're gonna keep following this thing. More and more of this stuff is coming out saying, yeah, it looks like a game too. But here's what we got from ChatGPT. One of my viewers sent me. He says, Chef, this kind of cap, gas ain't going up like that, and it ain't gonna have no real effect. So let me read this off for the family. Okay, let me read this off for everybody. The Matrix: U.S. imports from Iran 5 KBs, basically, essentially nothing. Total U.S. crude imports is around 6,000 KBs. So oil from Iran amounts to roughly about 0.08%, ladies and gentlemen, of total U.S. crude oils or imports. And compared to U.S. Consumption, it's only about 0.03. Okay, so ultimately, to sum it up, ladies and gentlemen, okay, the percentage of oil we use coming from, Iran is essentially, they're saying, is basically zero. It's really nothing. However, I look again and I say, I think about U.S.'s history, right? I'm the type of cat, I like to simplify shit. I don't want to, I understand that our media is controlled through their hubs. What's put out there is projected by them and controlled by them. Okay. And I also understand the history of the United States and what has always been told to us as far as justified means for invading a particular country, then turning out to be the opposite. So I say, even in this case, I'm calling cap on ChatGPT and any other resource right now, because United States isn't just going to jump in there to hit a small lick with Israel if it wasn't something that they can gain substantially. All right? Let me go to Brother Q, man. What's your thoughts on that, sir? ChatGPT and other resources are saying, listen, we don't really get no oil from Iran.
It's a lot of moving parts. I believe I'm calling cap on the oil thing. I'm calling cap on it not being a global agenda. We've seen it. Dr. Short has explained to us, anybody could Google what they consider is degraded Israel, and Israel wants to continue to expand to portion of Egypt, portion of Saudi Arabia. If you just look it up, you can see what is the map of the Greater Israel, and they'll show you. This is a plan of the Zionists. This is why the Zionists have been kicked out of every country since people realized who they really were. They knew they were able to distinguish them from the Jewish religion. We, the laymen, most of the time can't distinguish the two. And even some Jews will agree with Zionists, not realizing what they're agreeing with. So we're never going to say it's an issue with, as we would say, the Jewish people and the Jewish religion, because it's not. This is an issue of death, mayhem, and destruction. And you got people, and you got even people on quote unquote the Arab side, the Persian side, because Iran is Persia, that believe in this concept: death, destruction, and mayhem at any cost. It all aligns with people that believe in eugenics. Some people feel like the earth has too many people. This is the ideology. This is not, like I said, this is not a political belief where you could have a different of opinion. This is somebody's core ideal thought. Their life is geared on this sick way of thinking. These people are the enemy of God. These people are the enemy of the Creator, the enemy of creation. And whether we're going to see it in our lifetime or not, they are going to try to do what they're set out to do. They breed people that believe in this concept.
Well, Q, let me back you up, sir. This is an illustration that I've found here. Global agendas, right? And we've watched particularly how, this side, Israel, when I say this side, and, those particular evil folks on that side, not all of them, I ain't going to put them all in that bag, but there's a great deal over there. They invest in particularly the mind, obstructing the mind and the way our thoughts convey things. And want to be able to, make sure that whatever information we get isn't interpreted by the way they project it. So let's check this illustration out, y'all. You tell me what you think in the chat.
Everybody love everybody!
I'm going to turn that volume off. Just look at that. I hope y'all get it. Let me pull it back one more time, family. Let me pull it back. Now, some folks going to play it down. Oh, Chef, you could do all of that shit. You got Canva. You got all. Y'all, man. Look. Let's pay attention here. ChatGPT, where you getting all your information from now, a lot of folks. Let that percolate in your head. Let that percolate in your head, ladies and gentlemen. See, they started with Alexa. Now, Cass is going ChatGPT, AI. Some folks believe there's going to be a benefit, and many folks see it being the great downfall of Olympus, quote unquote, America. What say you, Brother Wolf? Listen, if you can control the mind, you can control the body. That's the way I think of it. And I've always seen that. We say mind over matter, right? Well, the emphasis has been for so long via television programming. A lot of folks get stuck on just the TV thing. No, it's called television programming for a reason. And when you do the research on all your executives that are controlling the very programming that you absorb, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to find a very simple consistency as far as the type of people that are doing the controlling of your minds. You will find them there.
But you know what? You're 1,000% right. I think the bigger question is, when did these people become above reproach? When did they become the people that you can't speak on, talk about? When? At what time, what era did somebody say you can't speak against these people? Under no circumstances. And we must be all in with them, no matter what. At the expense of our sons and daughters.
That part.
Make it make sense to me. I mean, we got people out here who love the state of Israel more than they love their own families.
Never been there either.
Never been there. They have more love for Israel than they even have for God. Because the two ain't the same. Okay? They will stand back and watch your children starve to death before they even assist you. That's why this is a beautiful time, because now, like never before, everything is going under the microscope of truth. Everything's being dissected. Everything's being looked at. In Israel or the Jewish community, you're no exception. And for a long time, you can't touch them. But now, they're being touched. So I'm on board with this, man.
Well, I'm gonna get the final thoughts, brothers. This was one of those. So I appreciate I want to appreciate the sponsor, my sister Earth Angel, coming through and getting us together. Brother Kev making a contribution. And ladies and gentlemen, it's still not too late for you, the 120 plus in attendance, to make a contribution or become a co-sponsor at $25, or the sole sponsor at $27, $30. Okay. $ FTS49, or my Vimeo at From the Soil. Okay. When we get our final thoughts here, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to start with my brother Q from Let's Talk 2. I definitely want to go to his platform as well. Him and brother Dr. Short did an excellent broadcast the other day. They was chopping it up with, I think they had the sister Aja on there. They was, cooking up some good shit. So go check out brother Q. But brother Q, your final thoughts here, sir. You got the flow, man.
My final thoughts is very simple. And it may sound very simple for those of us that try to speak and see things for what they are. Let these people destroy themselves, because that's what they're going to do. They are literally going to destroy themselves. Just let the tape play out. Sit back, let the tape play out, and watch them destroy themselves, whether it's by their own hands or hands by another. Every religious, every organized religion believes that in a way that God will use another set of people to check you when you don't want to be checked.
Right.
So I beg you guys in the chat, just sit back and watch. People will destroy themselves. With that, appreciate all you guys tuning in with us, and thank you. Like Chef C said, like, share, subscribe. What we're trying to do. Tune into our channels, and know that. And I wanted to say this in reference to Brother Juan's channel. When Chef C was talking about doing what we have to do in times of need, Brother Juan should have the biggest channel of us all.
That's a fact.
Brother Juan's channel should be going viral on social media amongst all what we call new black media. because his channel is the first thing that we should be doing. Provide, protect, then instruct. Without those orders, protect should be first. Protect, provide, instruct. Without those three in those order exactly like that, you can't give information if your house ain't protected. You can't provide if your house ain't protected. So Brother Juan's channel should be one of the foremost channel in what we call New Black Media. We should be protecting our families and then our communities. With that, I'm going to land my plane.
Salute our brother Q from Let's Talk too, man. Always a pleasure with our brother Q. Be sure y'all go ahead and subscribe to our brother Q from Let's Talk too, ladies and gentlemen. And definitely keep it locked with him and his sisters on Tuesdays. And his other broadcasts that randomly pop up from time to time. Q be feeling it sometimes. He just got to go live. So salute to brother Q for keeping it going. But ladies and gentlemen, real quick, we'll be right back. All right.
Stack you hard, fool.
What can I say after that, man? I want to thank Chef and Brother Q for their diligence in bringing about these Pat Talks. Pat Talk is important. It's relevant. And we've been doing this going on 2 years now, and it wasn't popular. I make no bones about me being a firearm instructor, somebody who wants you to protect yourselves, protect your families, your friends, your city, your state, the nation, possibly. I'm always asking the question, have you considered a shotgun? Have you considered a revolver? Have you considered a semi-automatic handgun? Have you considered a rifle? Because we are at war, family. We're at war. I dropped in the chat Ecclesiastes 3 because I'm going to just read a little bit of it. It talks about to everything there is a season and a time, every purpose under the heaven. It says a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance. I won't read it all, but you need to know what time it is. You need to know what time it is, family. It is time out for games. It's time out for just going along to get along. It's time to be serious about your survival, about your family, and your protection. As Q said so eloquently, yeah, this should be a verdict. This channel should be popping. It really should be. But I know that we ain't serious about that life. We're not serious about that life. We are the greatest talkers, the greatest entertainers, the greatest athletes. But we ain't got no fight. Like I said, it's almost like our self-preservation switch has been deactivated. And I'm here to turn it back on. I'm here to reactivate your self-preservation switch. We watched Trump and them do a press conference yesterday, talk about killing, destroying, and we just hee ha ha. Don't think it can happen here. You don't lost your damn mind. The army's already on the shore. They're just waiting for the green light. And when it happened, I don't have no permanent family. I don't have no permanent friends. I got permanent interests. And if you're not about the survival and the preservation of our community, you dead to me. You dead to me. So I'm gonna land with that. Thank you for tuning in. Want nothing but the best for you. But it's a time and a season for everything. And right now, we're at war.
That's a fact. We got our brother Juan J. Johnson, ladies and gentlemen. Again, and remember to go check him out. LWFtraining.com. LWFtraining.com. In addition, this is his YouTube channel. You should be subscribed already. And if you haven't done so, be sure to do so. Go ahead and subscribe to our brother Juan J. Johnson. LWFtraining.com and YouTube channel at Lone Wolf Firearm, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, I want y'all to also, hey, listen, I'm in the building too. I just haven't got with the brother Wolf. Actually, I was with the brother Wolf, but we haven't shot together yet. Brother Wolf had protected me from getting my head taken off. We was filming something, and I almost got taken the hell up out of here, ladies and gentlemen. We were filming a documentary, my documentary, and it was a loaded situation on there when we were covering a particular piece, and he stepped in when he needed to step in. So salute to our brother Juan J. Johnson. But I'm telling you, if you ain't in them streets getting your mind right, getting your aim.
Came to clean? Yeah. What? So Ricky's in the safety? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm out here with it too now. Fairly? I'm out here with it too. Brother Wolf?
As you should be. As you should be. I mean, again, America was built on guns. The pillars of America is the guns. There is no America without guns. That's why the Second Amendment is so important.
That's right.
The Second Amendment protects the First Amendment. Freedom of speech, religion, assembly, grievances, and religion. That's the First Amendment. But the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms. And if you ain't practicing your Second Amendment, you out of order.
That's right.
You out of pocket. So every time you see me or hear me, I'm giving you some subliminals. You got your gun? You got your rifle? You got your shotgun?
Hey.
You got your revolver? You get some training because you need it. And a lot of folks look at this may be one of the few broadcasts that actually promote protection, provisions, and instructions. We just don't talk about protect and provide. We talk about instructions. I'm telling you what you need to do. Like chef will tell you in the kitchen how to cook. You need to get you a weapon. Because I'm training all of them. The blacks, the whites, the Asians, the Latinos, they all come for training. Why? Because they know there's no place like America where you can have a gun to protect yourself. We the only ones, again, who have our self-preservation switch deactivated.
Shout out to our brother Juan J. Johnson, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, I just had to show y'all real quick, family. I don't just be out here co-signing our brother Wolf either when he be talking that stuff. I'm out here too. They're lining it up too. God damn it. I got a family that I love. A shorty that I'm going to marry at some point. Okay? Yeah. You going to mess around and find out with C. You understand? Yeah. I got people I got to protect. So I want to thank everybody for joining us here today, ladies and gentlemen. It was an absolute pleasure, as always, to be able to have a conversation. And please don't just go away after some of you having been entertained and others who have actually taken this as a place to learn something from here. Then you need to leave this broadcast, right? And you go and you implement some of these things, some of this information. You take action on some of the information we provided. Okay? It is necessary for the survival and preservation of your family that you, having been in these conversations with us, take action. Don't just be a spectator. It does nothing for you. And also take a lot more pride in understanding that you are the originators of this land. Immigrants, an entitled immigrant, don't get to check you. You check them. An unjustified bombing, I will say this, ladies and gentlemen. For me, when you're going in to other people's spaces, for whatever reason, it is unjustified. So I'm going to leave that bomb situation where it is. I don't respect it and I don't support it. And because it doesn't appear to be justified, ladies and gentlemen, you must do the diligence to go above and beyond in protecting your family for what can and possibly will potentially happen to you in the near future. Okay? Keep your head on the swivel. I want to also encourage everybody to go over to my alternate platform, The Cook Up with Chef C, for your cooking needs, ladies and gentlemen. We don't do any blackety black on that side. When you want blackety black, you come here on their next, particularly Pattalk. Okay? Also want you to keep in mind that this program was brought to you by Bloodline Films in collaboration with Season 2's sponsor, our brother Lone Wolf Firearms LWF Training, for Season 2 of On Their Next Podcast. So definitely keep it locked. And everybody that always supports us, we appreciate you. Our Sister Earth Angel being the sponsor of today's broadcast and the other contributors. It is not too late as well for continued viewers and people catching the playback to go ahead and put something on the books. $ FTS49. We appreciate all contributors. But most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, remember, in a system, ladies and gentlemen, of white degeneracy, you stand for nothing, you fall for anything. My name is Chef C, and I'm out of here. Salute, ladies and gentlemen. Catch you on the next side.